For movie fans, at the end of every year, a familiar question emerges. What did cinema tell us about ourselves this time? As 2025 comes to a close, that question feels especially meaningful. Not just because of the movies we watched, but because of how and why we watched them. 2025 was the first year of Fandom Frontline, and it's been a journey defined by curiosity, conversation, and a deep belief that pop culture is worth taking seriously. 2025 wasn't defined by one dominant trend, it was a year of contrast. You saw intimate grief placed beside operatic spectacle, cultural nostalgia collided with formal reinvention, familiar franchises shared space with bold, destabilizing original ideas. Movies had to fight harder than ever for attention, and the ones that endured were the ones that remembered cinema is an emotional experience before it's a product. So today, I want to close out the year the best way I know how, by celebrating 5 films that didn't just entertain me, but reminded me why movies still matter. What unites these films on this list isn't genre or scale, it's intention. Each of these films trusts its audience. Each invites us not just to watch, but to feel, to question, and sometimes to sit quietly and reflect. So without any further ado, here are my top 5 films of 2025, listed in order of release. Number 1, Sinners. In April, we had Ryan Coogler's Sinners, which was, without hesitation, the most memorable horror film of 2025. Coogler took familiar vampire mythology and reshaped it into something that feels both ancient and urgently contemporary. This is horror as ritual and as reckoning. The film isn't just interested in fear, but in history, race, community, colonialism, and the long shadows they cast. Like all great horror, Sinners holds a mirror up to us, and what it reflects back might not be comforting, but it is honest. Number 2, K-pop Demon Hunters. Every so often, a movie captures the cultural imagination in ways no one could predict, and this past June, K-pop Demon Hunters did exactly that. What could have been dismissed as a novelty genre mashup became a genuine phenomenon. But beneath the excess of hype was a film with real heart. K-pop Demon Hunter's celebration of friendship, resilience, and performance is infectious, and its animation is sharp, expressive, and deeply confident. It's funny, soulful, and surprisingly sincere, and yes, it's also one of the best films of the year. Number 3, Superman. James Gunn's Superman carried an almost impossible burden to launch a new DC cinematic universe while restoring faith in the genre itself. And against all odds, it succeeded. This is a Superman defined by hope, without irony. Gunn has given us a hero who feels mythic and human at the same time, figure of strength grounded in empathy. The film balances spectacle, humor, and sincerity with remarkable confidence. And when the credits rolled, I felt something rare optimism for the future of the superhero genre. Number 4, One Battle After Another. Then in September was Paul Thomas Anderson's One Battle After Another, a film that hums with anxiety. It wears the skin of an action thriller, but its true subject is survival under systems too vast to fight directly. Systems where control is everywhere, resistance is fragmented, and even moments of victory feel temporary. Violence doesn't liberate here, it only propels. Anderson's direction is sharp while also being sentimental and darkly funny. This isn't a film that offers answers, it offers recognition. And in a year dominated by spectacle, that honesty made it unforgettable. And number 5, Hamnet. Finally, we come to Hamnet. This is a film that turned inward, asking where stories come from and what they cost. Directed with exquisite restraint by Chloe Zhao and adapted from Maggie O'Farrell's novel, Hamnet explores grief not just as tragedy, but as a quiet, shaping force. Paul Mescal and Jesse Buckley deliver performances built on silence and gesture rather than speech. Its relationship to Shakespeare's Hamlet is subtle but profound, showing us the ghost before the play and the wound before the words. Hamnet understands that art doesn't erase sorrow, it transforms it. Looking back on 2025, this was a year when movies succeeded by trusting their audiences, by believing spectacle could coexist with sincerity, that genre could carry meaning, and that quiet stories still mattered. These 5 films come from very different corners of the cinematic landscape, but they share a conviction that movies are worth making with care, curiosity, and emotional honesty. And as Fandom Frontline wraps up its first year, that conviction feels more important than ever. If the best films of a year tell us something about who we are, then 2025 suggests an audience still hungry for stories that challenge us, comfort us, and connect us. And that's a year worth celebrating. And it's a reminder of why we keep going back to the movies. So let me know in the comments what your favorite films of 2025 were, and I'll see you next year on Fandom Frontline.